Talk about a team playing with its food. The 49ers
This is the shocker of the day.
Unable to deliver the death blow, and
Right.
the Rams come back and steal one from them. And I don't know what the Rams are going to be this year.
Yeah.
I think the injuries make it very difficult to sustain what they did. If they do, that's great. Hats off to them. For now, it's kind of like early season spoiler. Like, we're not supposed to win this game. We're down key pieces. Let's just see if we can whip something up that pins an L on a Super Bowl favorite and makes them wonder, are they really as good as they think they are? And are they going to be a team that's far different from what we've seen in recent years?
It was the shocker of the day to me right here. I know the 49ers had injuries too, with no Debo and no Christian McCaffrey, but the 49ers are such a deep football team. It's one of the best rosters in the league.
Is Brandon Ayuk still on the team?
Barely. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's again, no training camp, and they paid him this money, and yes, it's not a big role for him in the offense right now. But, yeah, that was a tough loss for the 49ers. And it looked like they were going to bounce back in the right way after losing to Minnesota last week. I mean, they were dominant in the early part of the game. It was just like, wow. I mean, Jordan Mason's just going to run up the middle for 5 yards every run. Brock Purdy, people are open. They looked like they were in a different class than the Los Angeles Rams for the whole first half. And then the Rams faked a punt on 4th and 6, and the game changed to some capacity where it went, oh, okay, hey, they have some hope here. And that allowed them to hang around a little bit into the third quarter. The 49ers still looked good and did some things there. But it was the 49ers defense that I'll look at to go 21-7, 24-14, and they just continued to let the Rams offense make plays and dial it up and slowly dissect them play after play. And then they have the punt return, and the 49ers miss a field goal and all of that, and the Rams just kind of had the momentum of the game late and took it over and won the football game.
Kyren Williams was incredible.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford, unbelievable how he just continues to make things happen.
Amazing.
Without Puka Nacua, without Cooper Kupp, look at this throw.
They're incredible.
That's after the missed field goal by Jake Moody, the 55-yarder. So the Rams had it on their own 45, and he just fires it all the way down the field to Tutu Atwell, and it's like, I can't believe they're going to, like, okay, the 49ers are still going to, like, okay.
Yeah.
They're still going to find it.
Right.
Like, all right, the Rams had their fun, but all right, you know, Big Brother's still here.
I kept thinking that too.
Unbelievable.
You kept thinking like, okay, they're going to close the door here. Oh, well, Purdy got strip sacked, fumbled when they're going to close the door, and Byron Young came around the edge. It's just, hey, L.A. found a way to kind of hang around, and then where they're dangerous is McVay doesn't get enough credit for how tough his football teams are. Stafford's one of the toughest quarterbacks we've ever seen. And the longer they hang around and then they start to get a feel for, ooh, they're playing us like this in this situation and doing this when we get in this personnel group, they start to crack the code slowly but surely. And that's kind of what they started to do. They started to kind of find the runs that worked for them in the second half. Stafford found, the plays he wanted in the pass game, and they started to dice up the 49ers, and the 49ers couldn't kind of regain momentum in the fourth quarter. Unbelievable win by the Rams. It really was, and unfortunate for the 49ers to lose the game that way, after a tough loss in Minnesota the week before.
We mentioned Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah.
He was targeted 10 times, 5 catches for 48 yards, and they're paying him $30 million.
$30 million. I think it's 30.
Is it a little over 30, a hair over 30? It was close to the Amon-Ra St. Brown number.
Right.
Juwan Jennings, as a restricted free agent, he had a tender of $4.89 million. He signed a 2-year, $11.89 million deal. Juwan Jennings had 11 catches on 12 targets for 175 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things we talked about while the Ayuk acrimony was going on is he going to be the guy that falls into the gap between the great receivers who absolutely command top dollar and you're not good enough, we're not going to pay you big money because there's other guys that can do this. And Juwan Jennings yesterday proved that point.
Yes.
There's other guys that can do this. We don't have to give Brandon Ayuk $30 million.
No, listen, Mike, you know me. I've said it all throughout the offseason. I would have never paid Brandon Ayuk that money. Never. I don't think he's a game breaker that way, to where I look at him and just go, oh, we can line him up over here and he'll just dominate all day long. He needs a little help, as we see, let alone, yes, like as Peyton Manning made fun of him for on the Manning cast early in the year, training camp matters. I mean, it does. And he's drops balls in every football game and certainly hasn't looked the same to this point. And yes, Shanahan knows how to get everybody.
But that's
open.
on the team too, though. The
It
team.
is.
I mean, again, it gets to the point that we made.
Yeah.
Make the deadline. You know you're going to do the deal. Make the deadline the start of training camp.
Yeah,
Why is the deadline week 1?
Right.
Then you got a guy that's not ready, and that's not good for anybody.
I think that he, for lack of a better phrase, way to say it is, he messed around with him. He jerked them around in a lot of ways. Trade me. So they found a trade. I don't want to go there.
They did
trade
the same
me
thing
here.
with Trent Williams.
I don't want to go there again.
I know.
So it was a little bit of a nuanced situation there where the player, self-admittedly, I made things a little hard in this situation.
At a certain point, you got to throw up your hands and say, well, we'll just make Juwan Jennings our number 2.
Listen, that's what I would have wished they would have done. I would have, because Shanahan's shown throughout his career he can get anybody open, and that's for sure. It doesn't matter. But either way, they paid him. They're stuck with him. The 49ers did so many good things yesterday. Brock Purdy played great. He threw the ball phenomenal. Jordan Mason still looked good. The 49ers O-line, I think, is as good as it's maybe been in the Shanahan era. It's overpowering at points during the football game. With their new guard and Puna, he's really good. So all of that's positive. I look at it and still go, wait, this is the 49ers. They got all this talent and money on defense. They were up 21-7. They were up 24-14. You got to make the stop. And the Niners I worry about a little bit, and something you hear me say all the time, right? It's the opposite of the Chiefs a little bit. I think that they don't do enough on defense, and I think it shows in certain moments like that at times where you play a good quarterback and a good play caller, they start to go, wait, this is what they're doing today, that's it, and we're just going to start to attack it with all the plays we like against that defense. And I think the 49ers are a team that needs to be a little more creative on the defensive side of the ball is what I would say.
Apparently, I am sleep deprived because
what'd you do?
I'm told that someone on this show used the term uncredible.
I could have
moments ago.
I might have.
We'll have to check the tape.
Check the tape. We'll go back to
we
it.
Have a Simsism. Not me. It wasn't me.
I would have. Obviously meant to say incredible, but
or unbelievable.
Could
and
be.
You just throw them together, and we get a new word.
It could be.
And there's a chance that somewhere, somehow, it's become an accepted term.
Hey,
uncredible. Me fail English. That's impossible.
That's an uncredible word. I like it.
All right. Here's a little from Sean McVay, who I have a feeling was very calm, collected.
Here
much
you
like
go
Tom
again.
Landry,
here you go on McVay again.
Much like Chuck Noll, much like Bud Grant. Here's McVay after the win.
All right. Holy shit. I saw a team respond after a really humbling week last week, and 3 hours will never define you, good or bad, unless you allow it to. And we've got to do a good job of being able to build on this. This game's going to be over. It's great to be able to get our first win in the fashion that we were able to get it. But how quickly can we make sure, hey, let's look at this, let's clean it up, and let's move forward, while making sure that there's still a little bit of joy in terms of how you move. And this will make for a good opportunity to progress and try to be able to build on this.
Look, it was an exciting day. It was a game they should have lost. They should be 0-3.
They should be. Again, that was miraculous. I give them a lot of credit for hanging in there and being tough in the way they are. And to your point, McVay's always like that. So there's never emotions. It's like that in the first quarter, the fourth quarter, the press conference, whatever. He's consistent, and I don't think he makes very emotional-based decisions.
Well, no, it's just like that constant.
It's always.
He knows how to make good decisions in that overall frenetic reality that is his brain.
Right.
Calculators make good decisions too, and they're moving very fast. That's kind of how he is. It's nonstop, go, go, go. But I knew he was going to be. I knew he was going to open it. I didn't know that's how he was going to open it. That was good. I figured that's
coming
where
in with
our
kind of language.
Yeah.
There.
All right. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.